Our buddy Tim Bontemps has a fascinating piece on ESPN.com. You need to check it out. He asked 20 executives around the league about the biggest questions facing the NBA. And there's a ton to dig into, but most notably, none of them picked the Lakers to win the title. Not one. The Lakers are still the favorites in Vegas, 3-1 to win the title next season, according to our friends at Caesars Sportsbook. That's a smidge ahead of the Clippers, who are listed at 7-2 or plus 350. So, Jalen, does this surprise you that none of these front office people in the NBA are picking the Lakers to win?
It doesn't surprise me, Laura, because of one word: cohesion. And so, yes, you have LeBron James, who hasn't made the playoffs this year, is going to be fresh after missing 6 months of basketball. But it is his first time playing with Anthony Davis. They're going to have to take some time to develop their chemistry. And then the rest of the roster. Yes, they have Kyle Kuzma, who's proven to me that he could get buckets in this league, and he's going to go well with those two guys. But who's going to be their closing team? That's yet to be discovered. Is JaVale McGee going to start at the 5? Is Boogie Cousins going to start at the 5? Who's going to guard point guards? Is it going to be Avery Bradley late in games? Is it going to be Kentavious Caldwell-Pope? So they do have some holes they need to fill when you talk about the elite teams in basketball. But as you have the conversation of contenders, they will be in it.
Here's the problem. Not necessarily the problem, but the one thing I would point out. If you look at all the best teams in the West, they all have that. They all just came together, right? The Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi, how is that going to work? The Rockets, adding Russell Westbrook to the mix, how is that going to work? Golden State, what exactly are they going to be with D'Angelo Russell there, and when does Klay Thompson come back? How is that going to work? Utah, if you want to put them in this conversation, I know a lot of people, including you, are very high on them. There's only one team that is sort of bringing back everything from a year ago.
Denver.
And that's your Denver Nuggets.
How about this? But I want to tell you the difference between the Lakers and the teams you just described. Yes, the Clippers add their two best players in Kawhi Leonard along with Paul George, but they still have the same coach in Doc Rivers. They still have Lou Williams, who was Sixth Man of the Year. They still have their starting point guard in Patrick Beverley. They still have Montrezl Harrell to play quality minutes. Utah basically has their same team returning. Basically, they played most of their minutes last year and added Mike Conley to go with Spider Mitchell, Defensive Player of the Year, and Rudy Gobert, and the players that they added in the offseason. And Houston kept their team, got rid of Chris Paul, and added Russell Westbrook to the starting lineup to go with James Harden, Capella, Eric Gordon. So that level of a base still exists with those situations that doesn't in Los Angeles.
That's fair. That's a good point. That's actually a good point, that those teams did put together. The Lakers might have to come to training camp wearing name tags.
And a new coach as well.
Three new coaches, right? They have three head coaches sitting on their bench at the same time.
Okay, really quickly, your thoughts on Zion Williamson signing with Jordan Brand?
I'm just happy that he got a shoe deal.
Yeah.
Normally, a player in his situation, Laura, gets this done before the lottery balls are determined. So for him not to do it at that point, when we know he exploded a shoe in college, that was almost taking a risk. And when I saw him on the floor after the draft doing a dunk, and then I saw him at NBA Summer League, it put 2 and 2 together. He's out of shape because he's waiting to get his shoe deal. He can't really play ball. So I'm happy that he is linked up with the brand Jordan. It's going to be a great look for him. Anytime you're partnering with Michael Jordan in that business, it's going to be a big-time thing for a young player.
You know the shoe business a lot better than I know it. This will explode, right? People will go crazy to get, I didn't mean that, but literally based upon what happened to a shoe in college. I didn't mean that way. I mean, kids are going to go crazy to go get the Zion.
Absolutely. And this is going to be a great get for brand Jordan, because there has been a distinction between what people feel about Nike shoes and what people feel about brand Jordan shoes. And so they did sign Russell Westbrook, who's done a terrific job of averaging triple-doubles for 3 straight years. They signed Carmelo Anthony. It didn't necessarily work out so well. So adding a guy like Zion, who's a can't-miss prospect, is going to be a great thing for their brand.
Yeah, he's certainly the guy all the kids, I
think.
And
a terrific young man, a great personality, a hard-working individual that just so happens to be really good at basketball. He's going to be successful regardless of what he chooses to do in life. It just so happened that he's going to kill him in basketball.
Yeah, there's almost never a day where there aren't interesting things happening in that league.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN Plus. We'll see you there.